What's up, fam? Welcome back to episode 2 of Lasting Love. And y'all see who I have with me? It's my little sister, Jalen Hayes, and my brother, Marquise Hayes. Yes, y'all, so I already told y'all, last time we were talking on here that I was going to do a few parts of this. With Lasting Love, I'm going to have some beautiful dynamic couples that's been married a little while to give us the rundown of how to do this thing right. And so I'm just so excited to have them here with me. And before we get started, fam, I want y'all to go ahead to like, share, subscribe. Make sure you comment and let us know what you thought about this beautiful couple. And let me know maybe some testimonies that you have with your mate and or your boyfriend, okay? So, bam. Tell the people about y'all. So y'all seen them also on the episode individually. I want to say that. They were individual. They weren't together. They were individuals. So, I'm so excited to have them as a married couple on the podcast. So, we're going to start with Jalen. Hey, so then just tell the people a little bit. Maybe they didn't watch the other episode. Tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Hello. My name is Jalen. I'm 30. I am the youngest of 5. I am a wife and a mother of 2.
Awesome, bro.
The reflection of what she said, anyway. My name is Marquise. I'm mostly known by Mark. Me and Jalen have been married for going on 9 years now.
9 years.
Next month, when you guys see this, next month. We have 2 beautiful girls, Kobe and Cody. No, they're not twins, they're 20 months apart. And so it's so confusing to us that we even call Cody by her middle name, which is Brooke. So they go by Kobe and
Brooke.
Yeah.
My baby's right there. So just a little backstory, maybe how you guys first met. Either one of y'all want to talk about it, how you guys met.
So I can go back and clean it up.
That's funny. We both met. We were working at this place together in different departments called Crown Products. And I was working in my department, just working. And he said he had a girl ask my name, what school I went to, let's say that. She asked what school I went to, and I told her MGM. And that was my first. He said he thought he knew me from somewhere. Come on.
So around this time, Jay, were you looking for somebody?
I had just gotten out of a relationship, a 3-year relationship.
Oh, wow.
So I was not. I was just glad to be out of that relationship.
Oh, okay, Mark. So is this an accurate depiction of how you guys met?
Kind of, sort of, not really. So I asked someone to get her attention, basically, to ask her what school she went to. My voice don't travel. Everyone knows my voice don't travel. As long as I can try to talk, it don't go anywhere. I don't know why. It is what it is. I never said I thought I knew her. I said that anybody I see around my age, I just ask you what school you went to. Maybe we know some of the same people, maybe not. It's just a thing that I've always done. And that question was really in no regard to anything extra. It was just a general question because I saw that she was a peer of mine. So, and after the introduction, which was that, then, I guess she wanted to make friends, so she made herself friendly.
I'm already a friendly person.
So, then from then on out, when she saw me, she would speak. She would say, "Hey, Mark Anthony," which is who again?
I don't know.
Some famous person. I think some type of Latin singer or something like that. But yeah, she would say, "Hey, Mark Anthony." So in my mind, I was like, "Oh, she wants the kid." So I was like, okay, she pushing up on me, so I got to see what she's talking about. So that's where it all started. That is an accurate account of the origin of Marquise and Jalen.
Awesome. So at what age was this? Let's take the people back a little bit. What age was this? Do y'all remember around the age that y'all met, just to kind of give them? So Jay is 33. Jay is 30. gonna be 31. Cause I'm about to say we 2 years apart. Hold on. But yeah, Jay about to be 31. Mark, you are 32.
He's
31.
31.
Yeah.
Goodness, I'm messing it all up.
So this was 20. This was March of 2014 we met. So
2014.
I was
19.
19.
And I was 8.
Before then, how were you guys as far as dating and stuff with other people? Like, I know Jay said she got out of a 3-year relationship, but what about you? As far as how was your dating experiences before you got with Jalen?
I had never been in a relationship prior to Jalen. I was pretty, I guess, promiscuous prior to meeting Jalen. Yeah, for lack of better terms. I've never been in a serious relationship, never wanted a serious relationship up to that point. I guarded my heart. I didn't want to be in love, nor did I want anyone to be in love with me. So I always had friends, and I always encouraged my friends to have other friends. I didn't want to be their only friend, so I didn't want no feelings involved.
So Mark, you was the honest type of guy. You know these guys now, they were like, you the only one. I love you so much, and you the only one for me. So you just told them all straight up, listen.
Yeah, I didn't want to
go on and you do you, I'm gonna do me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So no feelings will get
He
involved.
literally told me that at the beginning of our friendship.
I did.
Really? And that's real. I respect somebody more like that than, try to play and string me along.
But I was okay with it because I didn't want a relationship. I literally I just wanted to have fun. I just wanted to text and talk. I didn't want the seriousness of a relationship.
So how did the seriousness come into play with y'all? How did that come into play? So what happened to lead up to that? What was different about her and what was different about him? Since both of y'all were kind of like, in a sense.
I would say the seriousness came about from 2 things. One of them was just time spent. We spent a lot of quality time together. We hung out as pretty much whenever we had free time, we was together.
That's good.
That also, from my perspective, started when I first kind of met her. My background, I didn't have a relationship with God. I was not in church. I believed in God, but I had no type of relationship with God. I was the person who did what I wanted to do, but I also felt like I was good enough with God because I went out here wilding out too much. I was in the world, I was in the streets, but I went out here killing folks. So I felt like I was good enough of a person to be doing just what I needed to be doing to get to heaven in my eyes. I would come to church every so often, every blue moon, whatever. Of course, Easter, Christmas, the typical things like that. But when I met her, I'm fully convinced that it had to be God speaking to me because it wasn't my thought process to say that I was going to approach her differently than I had approached every other female prior to her. So my approach was different. I said that I would actually make her my friend, actually try to get to know her when that was not really my approach prior to her. So I was more open as well to really get to know who she was as a person, open myself up to be able to feel and all the things.
Wow. So Mark, that made me think. So, but what was different about Jayla? I know you said time spent, but it had to be something different about her because you done had so many encounters with other people that you ran into. What was different about this time? I want to actually spend time with this one.
The simplest way I could put it, she wasn't no hood right now. That's the simplest way. That's what I always said. She wasn't a hood rat. She was very respectable. She really, you could tell that she had great values. She thought highly of herself, and not in a prideful way, but she had self-esteem and things of that nature. She was secure in who she was, and I just thought it was very interesting because I honestly, I didn't really see that a lot. It could have also been that that's not what I was really seeking a lot. Ooh, yeah. So I knew that when I met her, I knew something was different about her just from her personality and what she kind of gave off. And like I said, I'm fully convinced that God was speaking to me in that moment. And even then, I knew that she'd be my wife one day, which is crazy. I didn't even want to be married at the time.
Wow.
What you always say you would?
I always told myself when I was younger that 24 was my age. 24 was my age to get saved. 24 was my age to get into a serious relationship, have kids, get married, all the things. I said I'm gonna do what I want to do until I turn 24, and also what was going on around that time, just kind of temperature of what was going on in my life. When I met her, it was a lot of young men around my age who were being killed. I lost a cousin to gun violence, and just people who I knew of and knew personally were dying. People who I knew and were associates with were killing people, going to jail, and things like that. So I always assumed that I was that seeing an old age was automatically for me to grow to be an old man and die peacefully. And then the circumstances around me just made me realize that may not be the case.
Wow. That's so good. So what was it about the age of 24? I want to know, because I
don't know.
You could have said 25, you could have said 30.
I don't know. 24 was just my number. I feel like that was a good age to kind of
He ain't say 30.
grow up. I feel like 24 is a good age to kind of grow up, get serious about life, I guess.
I know y'all probably think it's like 24. What was it about 24?
Yeah.
What was the connection now?
Yeah, my mentality was not great. My way of thinking was not great.
Oh my God. So Jay, next. So as far as with Mark, like, what was it about Mark? I know, like you said, you weren't really, but what connected? Like, okay, although I just got out this relationship.
Y'all want to know the truth? It was that he had a car. I went through so much in my other relationship.
That is crazy.
That I was just glad that this man had a car.
Okay, so you gotta tell them a backstory about what happened with the last guy.
It just was a lot, just a lot of inconsistencies, a lot of cheating, a lot of lying, a lot of toxicity, a lot of arguing. Couldn't keep no job, couldn't keep no car. And so when I met him, like I said, I didn't want nothing serious, but I'm like, this man got a car. I don't have to take him places. He can take me somewhere. Yeah, that's what it was. I know it's vain, but that's what it was.
So he kind of snagged you with the car.
Just with the car.
So a little deeper than that. So after the car. So it was was it the time spent, like Mark?
Yes, like he really truly just became a best friend. Like, of course I started to develop feelings for him, but before the feelings, like he said, we were genuine best friends, still are. We could laugh and talk, and we worked the graveyard shift, right? Sorry, y'all. I'm always losing my voice. We worked the graveyard shift at my job. We came in at 5, 4:45 for you. I came in at 5, then get off to 1:45 in the morning. Me and this man would go to a restaurant, sit in the parking lot, and talk until the sun came up.
Wow.
Literally just sit there and talk. So it was his conversation, it was his care, it was his language for me.
That's good.
Because I had a person who was like all about him, but he was all about me. And I could see that it wasn't just about him. The whole conversation wasn't just about him.
Yeah, I love that.
He wanted to know what was on my mind, and we were just like this. We've been locked in. We've been locked in for
I love that. And so I will get to even Mark with this. How did you get to the point of engagement?
Engagement?
Mm-hmm. How did you get to that point?
Yeah, again, like I say, I knew from the beginning that one day I would marry this girl. One reason I never been in a relationship as well, because I never desired to be in a relationship in vain. If I couldn't see myself marrying you, we wasn't even gonna, so just getting into a relationship with boyfriend and girlfriend, I have intentions on marrying you. I would be very intentional. We would basically be courting at that point. So even from the beginning, that when I wanted the relationship, I knew I wanted to be married eventually. Wow. I didn't know what the time frame would be, but I knew that was going to be the next step.
Wow, that's good. And Jay, so when Mark actually proposed, were you expecting that, or were you like?
No, I was completely caught off guard. I just knew we had been in a relationship for almost 2 years at this point. And so I just knew that I just was so in love. Yeah. Just so having fun. That we always said, like, man, because we, y'all know my mom, baby. We wouldn't stand together. We wouldn't do nothing. We wouldn't spend the night. at each other's house, nothing like that. So I used to always tell him, I'm like, man, I just can't wait till the day that we don't have to leave each other. But I wasn't expecting that no time soon. I was just so glad to just have a good man. Like, so glad. So,
do you think you was emotionally ready for Mark? Like, after over a period of time, do you think Mark was a part of your healing? I'm gonna say that.
Yes, absolutely. Because literally, I think it was like, I had only been out of a relationship when we started talking, like 4 or 5 months.
Oh yeah.
So, I don't know. I always say it was like kind of like, I feel like it was God, because I had my last relationship was so back and forth that I feel like if Mark didn't come in, I could have went back.
Wow.
And so I feel like he was that person for me that truly helped me move on, to get over. And so,
because I noticed in this era of women, I see it all on TikTok, they think, you know, and I think I was talking to mom and dad about this on the podcast, Liz, about, you know, the people think you got to be completely healed in order for somebody else to come in, that nobody else can come in during that time frame. And I always go back to y'all a lot of times, and I think about that in my head, because I'm like, so do I need to be 100% healed, Lord, before somebody come in my life?
I would recommend it. I would highly recommend it, because we went through some things first couple years.
Yeah, it takes a special type of grace for that. But yeah, as you guys can hear, I was a rebound, and in the same token, I saved her, so, you know.
Hey, we was there for each other.
I was a rebound and I saved her.
Mom said I'm
she
okay
wanted
with
to be
it.
saved and I saved her.
Mom said I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So a few years go by, y'all done got married, y'all done settled in. So talk about some of these trials. Like, what was some of the things that y'all like, okay, I wasn't prepared for this. Like, okay, like some of the trials that y'all maybe had in the first couple of years of y'all marriage.
For me, I wouldn't say that I wasn't prepared for the stuff that we went through, but it's different. I mean, you're still having to walk through it. It's still an experience within itself. I always had this conversation with her, and I even heard Mill, their mom. I heard her say it on the podcast, I think last week. And I've always said this myself, that it's like two literal individual worlds. Two earths colliding into each other, crashing into one another violently at that, to become one. Jesus. And that is something that that takes a lot of time. And of course, like you hear, the first year, people like to say the first stages are the honeymoon stage, the first stages are the hardest stages. Because especially when you try to do it the right way, when you was not staying together previously. So you think you know a person till you actually live with them. We spent a lot of time. We spent a lot of time together, but we was not waking up together. So we really was able to see each other's vulnerability. We was able to kind of get past what the other person wanted the other person to see and things like that. So it took a lot of patience. It took a lot of arguments. It took a lot of disagreements. All of the things to get us to this point.
Wow. And I'll speak for myself. I brought a lot of baggage into our marriage. Like I said, relationship kind of quick. You would think like, oh, y'all were dating for 2 years, so you kind of got, but no, it's like getting married, like he said, living with somebody. I was very codependent.
That's good.
Very codependent. So like his favorite sport, he loved to play basketball. He would go, I'm gonna go play basketball. Why are you leaving me? Why? You know, and all of the things is like, I didn't have a hobby of my own. I didn't have my own identity outside of, he's my best friend, he's my husband, or he's gonna go have fun. What am I gonna do?
Listen up, ladies, come on.
And so I had to learn what Jalen liked. I had to learn myself and how to be okay. It's okay, because I love my husband. I need my husband. You know, we in the culture now where women say, I don't need no man. I need my man.
Right. Exactly.
I need my man.
Exactly.
However, we got to learn how to be okay with us in certain moments. Time away from each other is healthy.
Yeah,
I'm learning.
It is very healthy.
Because, first 2 years, I ain't want this man on my side. Like, why I can't go with you?
Jesus.
What we gonna do? But yeah, I didn't even want to go hang out with friends. I didn't want to do nothing outside. Can Mark come?
Yeah.
Hey, no. We have a sister night. Can Mark come?
Can Mark come? Can he come too?
You know, so yeah.
But Mark, how did you navigate that during that time? What was your navigation? How did you, were you like, okay, baby, would you just give in? Or would you, when she was so codependent on you, or did you just like, well, Lord, you gonna have to deal with her and I'ma still go do what I do? How did you navigate? Help the fellas out. How did you navigate that?
I tried to create a balance. I guess if I had I would say basketball was my first love. I never played any type of formal basketball or regulation, but I played recreationally a lot. After I graduated high school, it just became a hobby that I did, and the more I got better at it, I kind of focused on it, and I played pretty much daily. So when I met Jalen, that scaled back a lot. And then when we got to that point, when I would try to go out and things like that, and she didn't want me to go, sometimes I would just stay home. Sometimes stay home, and then probably more than half of the times I stayed home. But sometimes I would still go, and sometimes she would be upset, and I was like, hey, I gotta, you'll be fine. I'll be right back in a couple of hours, so I just gotta go, get this little workout in and things. So, but to be honest, as life has happened, more responsibilities came with parents now. I used to play basketball 6 days a week, and until this year, I was playing like probably 6 times a year. So it's just kind of one of those things. Desire's still there. I still love it. I still have a great passion for it, but I just prioritize family and prioritize this first. That's all.
That's so good. Oh my God. I hope y'all wrote that down, fellas. Now, yeah, you can still have, your fun now, but don't be leaving her there all the time now. Because like my sister said, you do gotta have your own identity too, ladies. You can't just be so caught up. Every time you about to leave, you got an attitude, you throwing stuff. Come on now.
But I think that also came from trust issues from my last relationship. So it's like, okay,
and so many other women probably do too, got so many trust issues from maybe something he did.
Right.
Maybe something like, they're still trying to build back up or something.
Right.
And so now they're like, where you going? What you doing? Where you been? Who?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that can still ruin things too, because I know trust is earned too. You have to earn trust too. But that still would drive you crazy too.
Absolutely.
That still would drive you crazy too. That man can't go nowhere. He can't go nowhere. He can't go to the bathroom.
I'm like, he need a break.
Right.
I need a break.
Right.
Where you finna go?
Right.
I need a break.
Because it really, absence does make the heart grow fonder, man. Yeah. You gotta have some space from people. You really, really do.
Yeah.
And so let's we got through some trials. We got through some tribulation. Now we got these babies. Okay, we got one baby, then push through. How this happen? Was this a planned pregnancy?
It was. When we got married, as soon as we got married, she immediately got on birth control, got on the Nexplanon, I think it was called. It was like a 3-year plan or whatever. So we figured that'll be great for us. The first 3 years, we can really enjoy one another, pour into one another. And then, experience life with just the two of us before we have to really share ourselves with one another. And we did just that. We stuck to it. We did a lot of dates. We went out all the time, got up and left the house when we wanted. There were a few times where Jalen wanted to get the birth control taken out early, and I was like, no.
Oh, you sure was. I remember that too. I remember that. He was like, no. I'm like, well, come on, man.
We are sticking to the plan. Their entire family pressured me.
Come on. What you waiting on?
into that, but I really stood firm on that. Now, I thank God that I did, because we was really able to use that time to enjoy one another, and have that bond with one another. When the birth control came out, Jalen almost expected to get pregnant immediately. I didn't really have that same perspective. I kind of anticipated it probably taking a while for everything to wear off, a lot of it and stuff. But I know there was a lot of discouragement from her part, because it didn't happen immediately. It took, I forgot the time frame.
Like 9-10 months.
Yeah, like 9 or 10 months of actively trying to conceive before we actually did. So, and then
the kids came.
Yeah, the kids came, but of course before that, I think I shared with the last time I was on the podcast that we got pregnant, And after 5.5 weeks, the baby stopped growing in the sac, so we had a miscarriage with our first baby. Miscarriage, I think it was July 21st of 2020. Yeah, I think I remember that day because it's the same day that my best friend's brother was killed as well. So that was kind of crazy.
And Jay, what was your perspective behind it? So during that time when you was trying to conceive and everything, what was your feelings? I know Mark said you were expected to kind of get pregnant immediately. So what were your feelings during that time, like when it wasn't happening?
I was discouraged because both of my sisters, she fertile Myrtle, my other sister Kim, fertile Myrtle. It's like they got pregnant as soon as they thought about it. And it's like, okay, I know the birth control is supposed to wear off, but why am I not pregnant, you know? Okay, maybe 2 months. Okay, we're on the 3rd month now. It's like,
yeah, like come on now,
you know,
what's happening?
I was getting discouraged, but I never I didn't think I was infertile. I never thought like, oh, I can't have kids. I was just like, man, it's taking a while.
Oh, that's good. That's good because you know so many women deal with some people been in like this for about 5 years, can't bear kids at all. No matter what I'm doing, I done went to the hospital. I've been trying to do what's that stuff called? IVF. We done did this. We done did that. And I want to encourage and take a pause to encourage you.
Absolutely.
If you desire children, God will grant it. He's the one that opens and He's the one that closes the womb. So be encouraged if you're trying to bear children. It will happen in the time frame that God has appointed for you. So okay, we got through all of that. That's so awesome. Just the first baby. So you got pregnant with Kobe, and oh my God, and you know that was beautiful.
Right.
Yeah.
So how did that shock y'all?
Yeah. After the miscarriage in July, we conceived again 2 months later in September, and May comes around. We give birth to our first baby girl, Kobe Crew Hayes, my little diva, my little twin.
Oh, the twin, all day. Hashtag.
And I remember when we were in the hospital, because Kelsey came as well, and they broke Jalen's water and all the things. I really didn't want her to have a C-section. If possible, I want her to have a vaginal birth. Things didn't go that way, you know, Kobe didn't dilate or whatever enough, so they had to do like basically an emergency C-section because her heart rate dropped kind of low as well. So they had to have an emergency C-section. I'm out here while they're prepping her. I'm waiting outside. Me and Kelsey, I'm a nervous wreck, and Kelsey wanna talk to me, and I'm like, bro, shut up.
He showed me.
Don't say nothing. She's like, oh, you're so excited. And I'm like,
he want to say nothing.
I'm stone faced. I'm nervous. I'm a nervous wreck. I can't calm down, get my emotions under control. It was very hard for me in that moment. And then Kobe was born. Everything was fine, thank God, aside from her having jaundice. So we was in the hospital an extra day just for her to, for them to get her bilirubin under control. Is that what it's called? Get her levels down and things like that. So we was in the hospital Memorial Day weekend, came home, and the thing that really broke us into parenthood, just full throttle, was when we got home. We stayed at my mother-in-law's, at her mom's house for the first few days. And we came home, and when Kobe was 10 days old, she was choking off of her vomit, her milk. It was making her spit up, and she was laying on the changing table, and she was, I had my back turned to the changing table, and I turned around and saw her face was purple. So we started, trying to do all of the life-saving measures and all that, beating her, in her back with her, in the palm of my hand or my forearm or whatever. It seemed like nothing was working. It wasn't working good enough, so I had to take my pinky and kind of swipe the back of her mouth to kind of dislodge whatever it was in there to open her airways up. We called 911. They sent, the fire medics out and all the things. And she was, I tried to give her to the medic, and she was just, I still had my robe on. She was clinging to my robe. She wouldn't let me go. So they let me hold her while they checked her vitals and everything was good. And I remember the EMT guy, he was telling me, he said, yeah, he said, unfortunately, that's not gonna be the first time that something like this happens, like a scare like this. And he wasn't wrong. We actually went through, she had a severe milk allergy.
Wow.
Yeah, severe milk allergy to the milk protein. So we had her on this amino acid based formula because she wouldn't latch well either, right? So we couldn't do the breastfeeding like Jalen wanted. And she was on this this formula called Pure Amino, which y'all, if you know about formula,
Yeah, man.
this is the most expensive formula on the shelf. Like it's a small can. It's
$60.
like $60.
Crazy, man.
And it's, I don't know if it's in high demand or supply just low. At the Walmart shelves always running out. So we had to get very creative, buying off Amazon, eBay. And in these situations, we had to buy it in bulk. And this is $6 a can. They only sold it in bulk. So we buy like 4 to 8 at a time and things like. So yeah, they was running out of pockets on this formula that she was drinking a can in like 3 or 4 days. So, but yeah, she had several episodes like that as well, and every last one of them was scary. It never got to a point where it was like, oh, we know, because we know what's going on, we know how to fix it. You know, it was always scary because we didn't know how it was gonna turn out, and we just thank God that he kept her every single time.
Yep.
So but yeah, that really broke us into parenthood. Gave us a very fast crash course into what this was like. Yeah. I always remember what Kevin Hart said on one of his stand-ups. He said, you know, for the first how many years of your baby's life, the most important thing as a parent to make sure your child don't die.
Yeah.
So that's what it feels like. We're just trying to make sure they don't die. Like,
stay alive.
So, yeah.
That's so good. And Jay, how were you during those times?
A mess.
Yeah.
Alright. You know, women, we're emotional, and mommy's like, that's my baby. And I mean, you know, daddy too, but he kept me grounded.
Yeah.
He kept me grounded.
He's the balance. Yeah. He's the balance. That's so good, and I know, and I want you can tell a short version. I know y'all tell y'all story about Juju all the time. The second baby, Brickley, Cody, and you could just kind of give them an overview of that birth story if you would like.
I don't know how to tell you.
Just an overview. I would just say I had a healthy pregnancy. All up until the birth. I had a scheduled C-section that morning. It was supposed to originally be at like 9:30. They pushed it up to like 7:30 because they had an availability. And so I think now looking back, all of this was the hand of God.
All of it.
When we went in early for the C-section, everything was going good. I was confident. I was feeling good. It wasn't an emergency. It was like they had the peaceful music on. I was feeling very peaceful. Epidural went smooth. And then she comes out and she tried to take a breath, couldn't breathe. And whole bunch of doctors ran in. She had no pulse. She lost oxygen for so long to her brain. Had to be in the NICU and all the things. And God brought her through.
God brought her through.
So we had two like traumatic experiences.
But I also always think that they had to experience that because I always say this is just my gist on how the Lord works. We have to experience God. If we never go through anything, how do we experience God?
Yeah.
How do we see the hand of God if we never experience anything? How can we see the scriptures come out into play, the trials, and there shall be joy in the morning, and we never go through nothing? And so even if I think about how Brooklyn, the second baby, she is so smart, y'all. I promise you, that baby's smarter than a lot of these 5-year-olds. She talks so good, y'all. She's so smart. She's so sassy.
She's 2.
And she's only 2. You know what I'm saying? So how God did a complete thing in her.
He's faithful.
He's so faithful.
Absolutely.
And I would never get tired of hearing that testimony because God is so, like, he brought them through that.
Yeah.
He brought them through that. And I truly believe it was their faith. It was them persevering that God said, I just had to show y'all that I'm still God.
And I remember I used to always tell him, I'm like, man, we don't get away with anything. Yeah. Like, I say, man, like, I remember one time I just let a car go because I wanted a new car. So I was like, they can have that. They came after me and I still had to pay for the car. And I'm like, man, I don't get.
Give me the car back at least.
So I'm like, I always tell them we don't get away with nothing. So when it came to like Kobe's situation and then Brooke's situation, I used to tell him and tell God like, why us?
Yeah.
But now I see that God's hand is truly all over our marriage and our family, and I'm like, why not us?
Why not?
Why not? You know,
why
it's
not?
for His glory. It's truly
for His glory, for real.
Definitely. I remember when we had the miscarriage, and we had to. I think I had to bring the word. I had to teach a little bit after that, and God was showing me that He, in that moment again, it was like, why not us? It was like,
wow.
Like she said, it seems like we could never get away with anything. We wanted kids so badly, and like God, we're gonna do right about our kids. We're gonna, train them up in the things of you and all the things, dedicate them to you and all these things. And it's like we finally get pregnant, and now we lose the baby. It's like, God, what in the world is going on?
Wow.
So he even showed us even in that, like, man, I'm still God. There is a reason behind what I'm doing, whether you know it or not, whether you can understand it or not. But can you trust me in the process of your thing?
That's good.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good, y'all. We have to go through to experience God.
Absolutely.
I love it so much.
Absolutely.
Because when I grew up in church, I always thought going through was like a sign of like you doing something wrong all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know why I had that mindset. Like if you going through something, I did something wrong.
Right.
But no, it's not. It's not. God put us through certain things so He can get the glory out of it and show us more of Himself through the process. And I love that so much, y'all, for real, because that will inspire a lot of people that's maybe even going through now, trying to get pregnant, their kids are having health issues or whatever. You don't even know who you're helping, even behind this camera. And so I just love hearing about their testimony. It's amazing. And so we get through all of that, the babies and all of that. So how is marriage today?
Marriage is great. Marriage is great.
Through all the highs and lows.
All the highs and lows, marriage is great. Again, truly my best friend.
Yes.
Truly my best friend. And we talk about everything. We talk about everything, and like it can be the smallest thing. That's how you know that you truly best friend. It can be the smallest thing. The first thing I do, let me call more. Let me call more.
Yeah, she be on FaceTime, me and my sister, and I promise you one call, we don't even get by. We get by. Like gone. I'm like, all right, okay. Did she say bye?
My God.
God, but that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You want your best friend. You should have somebody. No, y'all not gonna be perfect. No, y'all gonna go through things. And y'all gonna disagree.
Yeah.
But you should ultimately have your best friend.
But we also had a lot of hard conversations.
Because I was gonna say this was it was a learning curve to get to this point. We had that conversation. Our first year of marriage, she grew up very family oriented. So she was used to talking to her family. She lived with her family. They was talking every day. They was around every day. So when we got married, that first year or two, it's like she was on FaceTime all day, every day. And I'm like, hey, what about this guy? Yeah. So it took a couple conversations to kind of get to this point as well. And I guess I don't want to jump the gun, but I guess
no, go ahead.
Okay, so for me, marriage today, it took a lot of growth to get here. We had a conversation recently. It was like, man, I feel like we finally 8 years in, it's like we're finally starting to kind of hit our stride with this marriage thing. In the sense of us really doing self-evaluation, down to self. All the things we have, again, a lot of difficult conversations. Majority of our marriage, selfishness was a thing that she dealt with very badly. I was horrible at communicating. I internalized a lot of things. I didn't talk a lot. I didn't express myself or my concerns and things like that. I always felt like I can deal with it. And then it get to a point where I can't deal with it. Then it starts, bubbling out of things like that. Not in a horrible way, but just I'm coming unloading to month worth of frustration.
Wow.
We have a conversation.
Yeah.
I'm finally able to talk. Yeah. So us working on that, giving each other grace and giving each other opportunities, and also reminding each other that, hey, at the end of the day, we're here for one another.
Wow.
We're on the same team.
We're on the same team.
Yeah.
This is the most important thing. This is why our entire investment is in.
Yeah.
So we have to make this work. We have
Yeah.
to find a way to make this work.
It's so
Yeah,
good.
divorce is not an option.
So good.
Yeah, it
Divorce
was never
is
an option.
not an
Yeah.
option. It shouldn't
Still
be an
is.
option.
Yeah.
Never.
It shouldn't be an option, and I think now this generation we go to I don't know, we like the wedding or the actual thought of marriage more than we actually like the marriage.
Right.
I don't know, because I done heard people they done been married for 17 days and they got divorced. I'm like, so you ain't never think y'all was gonna argue? You never thought you knew everything about the person?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, you should never, cherish a, wedding or
Yeah.
the person over the actual marriage,
Right.
because you're gonna have some when you move in or when you come together with somebody, you're gonna have.
Yeah, definitely.
A whole bunch of stuff.
And I'm not gonna lie, we had some
Yeah.
points where, and I know it's nothing but the enemy coming in, like, man, like, I don't think this is gonna work.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like we going
Yeah.
through the same thing over and over. Like, man, I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know if it's gonna last. Just being manipulated by the enemy. It was definitely nothing where I never had any pursuit towards divorce, but the thought has come up, like, man, I don't know if I can spend the rest of my life like
Right.
this.
Yeah.
Like that.
Because it was extreme selfishness, like you said, on my end. I had a hard time hearing about myself. He would tell me stuff about myself, and I get super defensive.
Yeah.
Like, I know, no, but what about you? But what about you? But what about
deflecting.
you?
Mhm.
Deflecting, and now we can have those conversations. I'm like, you know what? You're right. I do that.
Yeah.
I do shut down here. I do. So it took maturity on both our ends. It took growth.
Jay, but how do you get to that point? Because so many women deal with that, though. I know at one point I did deal with that. Like,
I literally can only say God, and just I had a made up mind. Would you say last year? Because it wasn't just with Mark.
Yeah.
I would get offended with family.
anybody, yeah.
I would pop off. Everybody.
Don't
You
tell
say
me
something
about
I like,
me.
and then
Don't tell
I
me.
shut down, and I won't talk to you for weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was kind of bad.
Wait.
I remember the conversation we had in the car. It's funny, we haven't had an incident since we had that conversation.
What conversation was it? I can't remember.
We were leaving Kim's house there.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a situation like that.
Yeah.
And she kind of some things can happen to kind of rub her the wrong way, and she was shut down really bad, and it really would
Ruin the whole
mood.
atmosphere.
Yeah,
couldn't come out of it.
very family oriented. So we're always gathering at someone's house and things like that. So it's kind of like, Jalen getting in the mood. Then it was the last time I said, hey, I said, next time you do this, we gonna get up and leave, right? And you kind of try to push through, try to truck through it, try to ignore her and stuff like that. But everyone try to ignore it. Like, oh, this is just Jalen. But I was like, yeah, next time. Since you want to, I said, I don't care about embarrassing. We're going to get up, we're going to leave.
But I was just tired of me. I think I got to a point where I was just tired of me, tired of the enemy, allowing the enemy to, just get me in my own way, ruin good moments, ruin fellowship with me and my husband. We could have great times, and then other times I would just allow the enemy or offense or what. I got tired of me.
Yeah.
And so last year I made up in my mind, I'm not doing that no more.
Yeah.
With the help of God, I'm going to get this attitude in check. I'm going to get myself in check.
Yeah.
And we're going to continue by the grace of God.
Cue in a round of applause right there.
Thank
God for Jesus.
She has made leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
In between then and now, and I really am so proud of her. We had, again, tough conversations about things like this, and we would have very productive conversations.
Yeah.
And then, I say, hey, when the opportunity comes for you to kind of apply what we talked about, you gotta actually apply it and not revert to those old ways.
Because those feelings gonna come up.
The opportunity, you're gonna be challenged. Yeah, you're gonna be challenged on it either way. So, but she got to a point where she was sick and tired of being sick and tired of herself.
Exactly. I was tired of me. And so I would say, to answer your question, with God and maturity, like
God
time,
and maturity.
I just want it to be better.
She ain't go to no therapy, y'all. I'm not against therapy. I believe in therapy, but I'm saying God, he's the difference maker.
He really is.
He's the difference maker. And so I'm gonna wrap it up, but I do want y'all to encourage Jay to encourage the ladies and Mark to encourage the men. And just encourage the ladies, whatever's on your mind, something that you can think of about marriage, something that she can look forward to, or something that she can probably overcome.
I would just say, I'll talk to the wives, the ones who are already married. Just pray for your husband. Continue to encourage him. It is hard. It's hard in both gender roles, but I can only imagine the weight of a man having to provide, having to make sure, that everything for the household stays together. And I just told my husband the other day, I told you in a joking way, but I was so serious. I said, thank you for working so hard so I can go to Chick-fil-A anytime I want to. But I'm so serious. He works so hard. He does not complain. He gets up and goes. And I work too, but he really works. And so I'm grateful. I'm super grateful for the man of God that I continue to see in him. Because it's been times where I've had to encourage him, to keep pressing towards the things of God. Yeah. So just women, wives, encourage your husbands to keep being a man after God's own heart.
That's awesome. Awesome.
And men, and this is something that, like Paul said, I myself have not apprehended this. I'm still working on it.
Yeah.
But the more I grow in Christ, I'm really, the more I can kind of understand His Word and understand my position as a husband. So, fellas, I would say, husbands, be your wife's minister.
Yeah.
Make sure that you're covering your wife. Make sure you're covering your home. This is something, again, I'm learning. I actually grew up believing that it was the wife's almost responsibility to kind of make sure that the home, her being the homemaker, her being the one that, make sure everything is good and stuff like that. But no, we are the protectors of our home. We are the ones who are called to be on the front line in prayer, in everything, and leading all the things. And I'm really learning that. And she's helping me with that as well. She always says she doesn't allow me to become content or complacent. She's always pushing me. She always keeps me grounded. She always makes sure that I'm always striving in the things of God.
Amen.
That's so awesome. Great advice. Y'all give them a hand clap. Great conversation. Great couple. Mark be everywhere. So he's like a brother to me. We be in any function. Mark is there. You know how he said in the beginning that she was so family-oriented. Mark is too. He is. He be right along. We go anywhere. He there. Hey, like it's like like Brad, my other brother, like anybody else that night. It's like that's how I want my future husband to be. I say you ain't gotta go everywhere, but baby, come everywhere. Come everywhere with me. I know it's gonna be a little awkward at first, but babe, come on. You know what I'm saying? And so Mark is truly like a brother too, and I'm sure Kim can say the same thing. Like, what up, bro? Because he's always there. He's at every function with us, and so we love him. We really, really do. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, watching. Make sure, like I said, y'all like, comment, and share, and engage with me in those comments. Until next time, we have another fantastic couple coming on next week of our last part of Lasting Love. So y'all tune in, and y'all have an awesome Tuesday. Bye.